This is a Thunder Game Report.
Hi, I'm Randy Renner. You know, some games are so bad, you just might as well forget about them. Head coach Scott Brooks and his coaches aren't forgetting about last night's loss in Minneapolis. However, they decided not to show the film to the players, and instead deciding, you know, might as well just move on and focus in on tomorrow night's opponent, the Phoenix Suns. We had a chance to talk to Coach Brooks today right after practice, and also with Thunder forward Perry Jones.
You have flashbacks to year one last night?
Yes. That was not a good game. You can't, not much positive you can take out of that other than it's the second game of the year. We have 80 more games to go. We got a lot of things to work on. We haven't shot the ball well still. Believe in our guys' shooting abilities. We have to do a better job taking care of the ball. But that game, I mean, give them credit. Like I said last night, give them credit. They outplayed us, but there's still a lot of basketball left.
Scott, because it's not much to take positive out of that, do you even watch the film or you just let it go?
I mean, I watched the film.
As a team?
As a team, no. We didn't watch. I told the guys there's nothing. There's no reason to watch the film. They know we got our butts kicked, and there's sometimes throughout the year you have to not watch the film as a group. And today I thought was a day to just focus on the next game and get a lot of shots up, and that's what we did today.
When you look, Scott, at things like Kevin trying to get his teammates involved and get more of that scoring from the flow of the offense, do you feel like certain elements of your game are close to clicking?
Well, those are the things that are important to us. We have to get everybody involved, everybody touching the basketball, and that has happened. You know, then the next thing is we have to make shots. There's no question. The teams load up on the best players in the league. Not only Kevin, if all the teams have that same dilemma when you run an offense. But we're getting good shots. I mean, out of the 31 threes. All but four were tough. I mean, the four were tough. The 27 were good shots, and if we can get those same threes, I feel very confident in our guys making them.
When that's the problem, when shots aren't falling, what do you do in practice? Do you just put more shots up, or is there anything else that you can work on?
No, I've always had a philosophy, even as a player, you don't do anything different. If you have good habits, just keep doing your things that are important to you and the habits that you've created. If they're good, you stay with them. If you've had bad habits and all of a sudden you're shooting bad, because the game tells you what you need to work on. But if you have bad habits and all of a sudden I'm going to start shooting more, I think you've done the wrong thing from the start. Our guys have always had good habits. They've always worked on their game. They've always been early practice guys before the practice time and after practice getting shots up. They just have to continue to stick with it, and we have to continue to work on our offense and to get these guys, get our guys good shots.
Scott, do you think the offensive struggles are simply a matter of missing shots at this point, or do you think it's something different? Like, for example, Nick was saying last night that there's some things that you guys got to do better, set better screens, cut harder, things to get easier shot opportunities. Do you think there's something deeper or just missing shots?
No, I think it's definitely a combination. There's a lot of times when you don't make shots, it affects your offense. But you have to continue to run it and continue to run it with good execution and good energy in order to get those shots. But we are getting good shots. The last two games, I cannot complain about our shots. Serge is getting good looks. He missed a lot of shots that you normally would make around the basket, and he's missed some shots on the perimeter. But those are shots, you know, unfortunately, you will have parts of a season where you don't shoot the ball well, and we're started the season that hasn't shot the ball well. But that's gonna change because of the guys' habits that they've created for the last 4 or 5 years.
With Serge specifically, you're giving him a little more free reign to do some things, isolation in the post. Do you want to continue to let him do that and try to figure it out, or you get back to doing the pick and pop that you normally would do with Russ and Serge?
No, I mean he still we need him to do that because that's what he's really good at. There's no question that he is has expanded his offensive game, but he still has to do what he's good at. And he's one of the best pick and pops in the league. He's still getting those shots, but I always just focus on getting good shots, regardless of who takes it. We know the volume shots are going to go to the best shooters. I'm not always a dummy, but I know you got to give the best shooters the ball in good positions to make shots, and I think we've done that the last 2 games. We just haven't made shots.
When looking ahead to Phoenix, what's going to be key for you guys against them?
Phoenix they're fast. I mean, the last 2 games, 31 and 24 in fast break points. There's no question they want to get up and down the court and play aggressive basketball. And their pick and roll game, they got 2 point guards that started in the back court that are very aggressive, that love to create for themselves and their teammates off of a pick and roll action. We have to have good coverage there. So transition and pick and roll coverage is very important for tomorrow night's success.
You guys have had it in the past. Do you have to redevelop a bounce back mentality each year?
That's something that we take pride in. That's knowing our guys. That's what they are. That's their DNA. They're very competitive. We take pride in coming back after a bad performance and play better the next night. And tomorrow is going to give us a great opportunity. Start off our home court in front of our fans with an opportunity to bounce back.
Your veterans obviously are aware it's a long season, but what about your younger players like Steven and Jeremy? Do you fear there's a shock value left over from yesterday?
No, I mean, there's definitely, it's a mindset that younger players have to go through. There's the 82 test a game. You can't get so down on a bad loss, and you can't get high on a great win. It's something that you have to just try to stay consistent as possible. That's what makes these guys great players, because they're able to stay level on a very emotional game, and we've done a good job with that in the past. And our veteran guys understand what they're going through because they've been through it already. So they've been great leadership examples for our younger guys.
How nice is it to finally play a home game in front of the home crowd in the regular season?
It's great. You know, we feel we have some of the best fans in the NBA, and our guys love playing at Chesapeake, and it's a great opportunity to open up, you know, against a very good team. They've won their first 2 games, so it's definitely a very tough test for us.
You've been to tons of different venues. How does the Peak atmosphere compare to different venues around the country?
It's the best in the country. I mean, it's probably the best in the NBA. There's a handful of teams that you have a great home court, and we definitely are one of those teams. We have our fan bases; they support us, and our players really appreciate it. They've always enjoyed playing home.
Thanks, Coach.
Coach. The focus kind of turns to Phoenix. What are going to be the keys for you guys in that game?
Definitely defending. They're good in transition. Definitely got to get back. Just play Thunder basketball.
What's the biggest thing you guys were working on in practice today?
Today, just shooting. A lot of guys are tired. So trying to get some guys some rest so we can come back tomorrow with a lot of energy.
What's the most exciting thing about finally getting to play a regular season game at Chesapeake Energy Arena this season?
It's just a great feeling, everybody wants to play, so just being able to play, do what I can to help the team, it's a great feeling, but, I'm just going to be focused on the game.
You've been getting quite a few minutes now, these first 2 games. What's that been like for you?
It's been good, just doing what I know I can. I defend in practice, so I just go out there and defend from 1 through 5, so just do whatever I can to help the team win.
If you guys weren't getting open looks and the shot wasn't falling, that'd be one thing, but you guys are getting good looks and it's not falling.
It's going to be a couple of games, 10 to 15 games where, shots not going to fall. We can't hang our head. We just got to come in, the next game, with just as much energy and still look for open shots.
Barry, you've not been a part of a loss like you experienced last night, a young player in the league. What were your thoughts heading back home?
Basically just shake back, we had a tough loss, but it's a long season. So just come in, the game's behind, can't go back to it. So we just got to come out the next game with a lot of energy, a lot of force.
You fired up about your Baylor Bears? They've got a big game Thursday against OU.
No comment.
Perry Jones not taking the bait on that Baylor OU game coming up next week, knowing that he is in Oklahoma now, even though he went to school down in Waco for Baylor. Coming up, of course, tomorrow night, 6 o'clock at the Peak, the home opener, Thunder and the Phoenix Suns. Our cameras will be there. We will have complete pre- and post-game coverage right here on ThunderGameReport.com.